safe, oh Lord God. We thank you, oh Lord God, that you woke us up this morning clothed and in our right mind. Father, thank you for our family, our home, our vehicles. Thank you for food on the table. Thank you for shelter. Lord, just thank you for all things, great and small. Lord, we love you and we thank you on this Thursday. We give you glory, honor, and praise. It is in Jesus' precious name that we pray. Amen. Praise the Lord, my brothers and sisters. Are you in a lion's den today? How strong is your faith? Can it sustain you? Do you have the faith of a Daniel? Do you have the faith of King David? Do you have the faith of Moses? Do you have the faith of that little widow woman? The Bible tells us that without faith, it's impossible to please him. So let's please him today. Let's tell him how much we need him. Let's tell him how important he is. You know, when the doctor told me that I had cancer, I was afraid. But I remembered all that God had brought me through, and I found confidence in God to trust him with my life because after all, my life was in his hands. Faith only looks back to remember how far it has come. And each time I look back, I remember that God was at the wheel. Friends, not only will your faith take you through the lion's den, but it will take you over mountains that look insurmountable and across deserts that look like Death Valley. But you must remember that with God, nothing is impossible, because he has already told us we can do all things. Remember, don't let fear. Remember what God told Joshua. Be of good courage. Haven't I commanded you? Don't fear. I am with you wherever you go. You see, limits don't start in your life. They start in your mind. Faith removes the ceilings. Faith refuses to let life define you when God has already designed you. Refuse to agree with your limitations, my brothers and sisters. A faith shift leads to a life shift. Faith obeys even when it does not understand. Look at Joshua 1:8. Faith isn't just believing God can do it. It's obeying until he does it. Every miracle in Scripture followed obedience. Faith trusts God even when instructions don't make sense. Remember, my brothers and sisters, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
All right, gang,
it's, time to buy it. Well, not buy, sell, trade, lose, find, and give away. No, it's Ask Your Neighbor time. David WYSH, Stars and Stories of the Cass Walker Show. The guys are here. They're just standing back here, waiting on David, I guess. But we'll be back with it in a moment if I can get them rounded up here.
Rogers Group. Who are they?
Rogers Group is a family-owned business started in 1908 that operates in 7 states. Locally, they're in Oak Ridge and Campbell County.
Rogers Group. What do they do?
They offer high-quality products and services at competitive prices. They offer commercial and residential services, crushed stone, sand, gravel, asphalt paving, and road and bridge construction.
Rogers Group. Where are they?
250 Union Valley Road in Oak Ridge and at 429 Queener Road in Jacksboro.
Rogers Group, a local, family-owned, community-minded business.
Hammers is celebrating spring with bargains blooming everywhere. Every week, there are new shipments of ladies' famous label sportwear and men's branded clothing. Ladies and girls' trendy boutique fashions are always 25% off at Hammers. Check out the new arrivals of spring clothing and accessories from Simply Southern. Ladies and men's swimsuits have arrived just in time for spring trips to the beach. Enjoy hot deals on men's shirts, pants, and shorts from famous makers like Wrangler, Huck, Columbia, Magellan, Tommy Bahama, Drake, and many, many more. Continue your spring cleaning and save now on a truckload sale of throw rugs and area rugs. The spring silk flowers are in. Either make your own arrangements with stems and bushes from Hammers' beautiful assortment or purchase an arrangement made by our staff. Also, visit Hammers Facebook and Instagram for daily deals. Come and see us at Hammers, Clinton, Sevierville, Wartburg, Halls, and New Tazewell. If you miss a day, you miss a bargain.
Hammers Discount Stores. If you haven't been to Hammers.
All righty, here we are, and there we go. Good morning, everybody. David WYSH, Stars and Stories of the Cass Walker Show. We got the whole gang here and rip-roaring, ready to go. Hello, boys.
Oh, we're here.
Here, there, and everywhere. Good.
Are you here, Howard? I'm ready. Well, who's that over on that? What's over
Brother Mike. Brother Mike's here.
So, we're supposed to have a special guest this morning.
We are.
Yeah, Russell Stover's supposed to be here.
Well, he's running late.
Well, he may be on that Nashville time.
He might be. He might.
If he's through before he gets you.
If he is, he's missed us. Well, we'll catch him next time. So, how's everything been, guys?
We're doing good. Hard. It's hard. Two times.
2 times in a row, buddy. We're happy as we can be.
What's happening?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking this morning. We was talking last night. We have a trivia thing at church on one Wednesday night of the month. Minister got sitting there talking. I said, things that they get you promise you in politics. Now it's climate change.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, since the world began, there ain't been no climate change.
It's been about the same, hasn't it?
That. Right. You couldn't make it snow. You can't make it rain. You can't make it hot. You can't make it cold. And if you did cut off a few cars and put on some batteries, look what we're doing over here on all them bombs. That's slow. Yep. Hey, it reminds me of an old 55 Chevrolet I had back then. They had the Vietnam War going on, you know. Mm-hmm. I come in, Daddy liked some of my trade, and I come in, had this old 55 Chevrolet. He'd used it for a work car. It had good body, but that thing had he must have had 300,000 or 400,000 miles on it. The old 6-cylinder. And you started that, and you couldn't hardly see the car. It smoked so bad. Daddy said, where did you get that? And I said, I traded for it. He said, that needs to go over yonder where they're having the war. I said, smoke them out of that jungle, bro. Yeah. And then I had this other one Tom was talking about. I think I told us we had a truck I traded for. Got on trade guitar, and so I reckon it'd been hit from every angle. And I had to set it on the side of the road. If I so rolled off, but the battery wasn't no good. But I put $100 on it. I won't move it. Probably had 25 cents. No. It's where you trade it for a song and sing it yourself. You know?
Yeah.
You're coming over walking down the road, and he said, you want to sell that truck for $100? I said, yeah, it run. I said, oh, yeah, it run good. It did run good. It just been wrecked all over it. And he said, can you hold it for an hour? So I'll give you $5. I'm going to go get the money. I said, okay, I'll hold it for $5. Well, he didn't show up. Well, directly about 2 or 3 hours later, a guy come in and said, man, I want that truck. I said, would you hold it for me? I said, how long? He said, a couple hours. I said, $20. He handed me $20. He didn't show back up. They couldn't come back. See, I mean, they couldn't get the money, I guess. Of course, that's way back there in the 60s. Rick, here comes another guy, and he said, I believe I'll just take that truck. So I got a little more out of it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was thinking about this. I saw a car for sale on the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a couple stories on that. Ken Collins, a real good friend of mine, they had a motorcycle for sale. And he said that this boy just come in, and he said, well, I was suspicious something when he walked in. And he said, boy, I love that motorcycle. I've been looking for one of these. He said, would you care if I just ride it around here in the yard and try it out? And, no, I guess so. He went a little round up one time, you know, and yeah, I believe I'm going to take it. Let me make one more round. That second round, he put it wide over and out in the road. He hit and away he went. So we jumped in the car and tried to run him down. And we just, you know, we saw him about 2 times, tail lights, going to get it. Well, then at the store, Rhonda had this truck I bought her years ago, and because she done a lot of delivery, and she got her something new, and she's going to sell a truck. Well, this boy just on Saturday was, you know how busy you are on Saturday. This guy walked in and said, ma'am, I love that truck down there. Said, are there any way I can try it out? And she said, well, directly when I get time. He said, no, care. You know I'm not going to run off because here's the key to my car sitting out there. Picked out a nice car sitting out front. He had no car key. Here's the key to my car. I said, I'm not going to run off leave my car. And of course, she kept waiting. That car left. So when I got in that car left, you know, she said, what's going on here? That's all he had was a car key. Never did catch you. Lost that truck. She called the law and then
It's gone? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you have to really, you got to really.
Yeah, watch them.
Be good on them people like that. They can get them guitars and stuff in a case, swap them out. So quick your head go around. You have to be careful about somebody bringing the case in. It'll be empty. And we had one of them Echoplex boxes that like Chet used.
Yeah.
It was real hot that time selling. And this old boy come in and they looked around, it's gone. We had one that's sitting up there, she's showing it to him, it's gone. And this girl said he took it at thing, he paid for it, so he took it at there and put it in his car. They followed him out there at Max, my nephew, the one that Lester Fox thought so much with his and partners. He was standing there, or he, you know, come in while it was taking place. And they went out there and said, boy, I want that box back and I want it right now. What's your name? He wouldn't tell her. She said, my name's Faye West. It stands for honesty. Boy, she gave him a rebuke. And next told me that I'd rather just paid for it and left. Take all that. She laid it on that old boy. Oh, man, she was a great one. She's one of the best secretaries. But see, she started out with me when it was $1. We took in $1. And, I mean, she was with me. She growed with us.
Yeah. Oh, she went with as you went.
She knew what to do. And when the IRS come in there, they come in, brought their computers and everything in. They stayed a week. And I told Faye, I said, now you stay with him. If he uses the bathroom, you use the bathroom. He don't trust us, and we don't trust him. He was a very nice guy, though. That was quite a bit of money. She got back some. And but he told her, he said, told me and her both, where on earth did y'all learn to do bookkeeping? Said, I ain't never saw nobody do this kind of business on paperwork like y'all do. All in books, right down to the P. She ended up doing check stuff just like everything. Just how many year 3? She just walked over, pulled a fly cut and laid him on his desk.
Love it.
She said he looked a little astonished. Certainly. He said, I'm just going to spot check if you don't mind, ma'am. But, you know, she was just really good. And we know she had some other good features too, didn't she, Harry?
Oh, yes.
She's a heck of a bass. She was a heck of a bass player.
Yes, she
But that
played bass.
stand-up doghouse bass like
Good,
crazy.
too, I tell you.
And cook. And
Oh, Lord,
she,
yeah.
Some way, she'd answer the phone about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
She kept all the books, waited on the customers, and went back there and cooked us a big meal of patty cakes and fish one day.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we had good food, didn't we?
Soup, man alive.
Yeah, I was up there at Mr. Butcher's one time, and he was interviewing this girl to work in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing he said, "Can you cook?" They had kitchens going every bank. They cooked their own meals there.
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah, Mr.
Where
Butcher
you
fed
at?
him up there, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure did.
He had to eat his grocery store too. You had to go back there and big kitchenette. Eat with them. They'd eat. Oh, they had big, nice food there. But if she could do all that, and you
She's a
just
sweet person, too.
it's amazing what she could do.
just, yeah.
But she'd been with it. See, when you grow up with it, it's a little bit at a time, like lifting weights. You don't lift 200 pounds a night. You come up a pound at a time.
Yeah.
And never owned a car, never bought $1 worth of gas in her life. I furnished her car, gas, license, insurance. I told her one day, I said, I heard around then, I said, why won't you go over at Rogers and get you a new Cadillac? Well, I just don't know about that. And she got upset over it. I'm not talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
But she got, what's it you get? Anxiety.
Yeah.
And got sick over it. She thought I was going to go get a new Cadillac. I just thought she might enjoy it, you know. And I said, you're going to leave it if you don't go get something. Why don't you enjoy something? Well, I'm pretty old. I probably don't need one.
David, I was furniture, her Benz, and all of it.
Everything I furnished her.
She sold her BT Cruiser out behind her. Said, now, pay you got to go buy you a car. Oh, she got sick.
Well, every time I'd buy a new one, I'd just give it to her, you know, because drive, and I kept her in a brand new and all the time. That 52 Cruiser, that's the license I got with. No, Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red Cadillac with the white
Cadillac.
top. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. What a nice car.
That was a nice car.
When she died, it had 50,000 miles on it, so it's still like brand new.
Yeah.
Boy, she never did know what it was to pay land taxes, food. I paid 100% everything there for my family, and the only phone they had, I paid for it ever since it'd been in. And I told her, she just had it. She had it real good, but she worked hard. She
did. Yeah.
She done what she's supposed to. And Betty, if you come in there and want to buy something, you better have some money, because if you didn't, she would. She'd make you give collateral. We just got a space.
There's Uncle Russ. What's up, buddy?
Rob.
How you doing, Russell?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
Good to have you here. You
get close up.
Yeah. Get out together.
I've got a face for the radio.
Well, you're on TV though.
Well, I
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Lord, I should have cleaned up.
You're on TV and radio.
You're on TV.
I didn't know that. Television. I thought it was radio.
It's both.
It's both.
We've growed.
Face.
Internet too.
Yeah.
Hal Durham told me that one.
Yeah.
He was an old manager of the Opry back in the 70s when Becky and I came to. You know,
came to prominence.
When we came to prominence, UT. You know, Hal went to UT, University of Tennessee.
He did.
He liked East Tennessee people, so.
Oh yeah.
He liked me and Becky, and we got along fine.
Cass Walker, he loved Cass Walker.
Did like Cass. Hal was a good guy, and he.
Was the best, yeah.
He sitting around one time, he said, "You know, Russ, I got a face for the radio." I couldn't make it like Ralph Emery on television. He said, I had a face for the radio, so I figured that's what I had, you know.
Well, a lot of us do.
Yeah. Enjoyed your stories there, David. I've been listening to you on the way. I heard y'all say I was late on Nashville time and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I heard you coming. That stuff was out there in the air.
Listen to that.
Yeah, buddy.
All that other stuff Howard said about you.
Yeah, what you talking about?
Anything I say is going to be good.
You don't know how to wait till you got here.
I knew I was going to be here today, even before today. Because last time I was here, Sammy was here. And I said, boy, I enjoyed that, Sammy. I hope I get to come back. He said, it'll be a cold day.
And it is.
It is, ain't it?
So it is.
You slice it yourself with a knife after it's cold.
Where is Sammy? Somebody just told me that it's snowing in Tazewell right now.
I bet you.
And yesterday it was 70-some degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be 70-some degrees.
There was a little snow and with that rain for
Yeah, it was something. I came in this
morning. Ron,
what up?
We was out at Opryland one day, was doing shows, and a guy come up, can I make a request? And I said, well, sure. If we know it, we'll be glad to sing it. He said, would you sing It's Snowing? I said, what? He said, it's snowing. I said, well, how's it go? He said, it's snowing that your door's always open and stuff like that. That's up there with
chaos.
That's up there with cedar tree. Cedar tree, how big it's grown. Play cedar tree.
There you go.
Yeah.
Snowing at your
it's
door.
snowing that your door's always open. Your path is free to walk.
There you go.
Oh.
What year did you start working at Opryland?
74.
74.
It opened in 72. And then we came down in 74, and it was a folk show. It wasn't bluegrass. It wasn't country. It was just folk music like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and the Kingston Trio and all that folks music of the 60s, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting music. But
you showed them how to do it, didn't you?
We changed it, you know. It just wasn't, it was good for one segment of the audience, but people who came to Nashville back then, they wanted, it's like people who came to Gatlinburg, they wanted the local, you know, they could
Hillbilly. They wanted our life.
They could get folk music in Greenwich Village in New York or in some local community, but they wanted something that native to the area. You know, they used to be regional music, like they'd have jazz down in New Orleans, and then they'd have the polka music up in Minnesota and Michigan up that way, and we had our bluegrass and mountain music in East Tennessee. They had their commercial country music in
Nashville,
and Western swing down in Texas. And now it seems all glommed together, you know. But back then, them folks came. They want to see some hillbillies.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted. They wanted. Where's the country people?
The hillbilly store where you save money.
That's what you said. That's what your commercial said.
I saw more stuff off that, and it was a guy cutting me down.
Have you seen his reels, Ron? They have on show on Facebook every now and then. They'll have a Ciderville commercial.
Oh yeah. Bradley's been posting them. I'm in most of them.
I'm telling you.
In about all of them.
I was in a bunch of them.
That was a hoot to me.
Well, I get more comments. They say, that's an interesting commercials. We love to look at them.
Did you tell him what you told me yesterday about Cass saying don't buy no cheap guitars? The next thing up is
get $25 guitar.
$29.99.
They would say, what's he talking about? Don't buy no cheap guitar. He got them $29.99.
I'm going, it don't get much cheaper than that.
There you go.
Talking about that hillbilly music.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, David used to play the Museum of Appalachian every year. And a lot of people come from everywhere.
Yeah.
There was one man up there, he come from Alaska every year to the Museum of Appalachian.
Yes.
They love mountain music. And, you know.
That's what they wanted to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah. He brought me all kinds of
Because I'd heard back several years ago that one of the biggest crowds that ever been in New York, that big theater that up there, was when the opera took their show up there.
Yes.
Said it filled that place several days.
Because most of them stars was East Tennesseans anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They came out of these hills, you know.
Sure was. East Tennessee or part of Kentucky, right in Virginia, right in the area.
Yeah, came through that old Tennessee Valley barn dance.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the 40s and 50s. And
Man,
stuff.
look how many people they
Oh,
were.
Lord Ranger sent a bunch from up there, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the Tennessee Valley barn dance was the Opry before the Opry.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Opry of the 50s and 60s anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because all those people came down
It was hot.
Yeah.
Merry-go-round every day. To do it every day and on Saturday nights that'd be hot.
Yeah, well, midday merry-go-round, Van needed down the barn dance on Saturday nights.
Oz and Mr. Acuff, we'd sit around on the Opry on Saturday nights after his performance, or even before or during, but his door was always open. You come down there and you want to see him, that door was open. And we'd talk about traveling like back in the day when they'd have these big cars. Of course, they were fancy for 1940 something, or 1940.
Oh, yeah.
He still had cars big enough to haul vans, but they would travel these roads long before Eisenhower built the interstates. They'd travel these back roads, 70, 25W, 11E, go out and play music. And they would sleep with their guitar, their instruments, their guitar cases and things, but setting up between their legs. And that's how they traveled to get to these little schools and places to play music. And I think about those big tour buses. I got those nice bunks, and they got, everybody's got their iPod. They can watch whatever, iPad, they can watch whatever they want to, and have a coffee pot and a gallery and a refrigerator for their health food, Ain't gonna eat no chicken. Gotta have something got a fancy name to it. Read the ingredients on the label, So you try to stay healthy all your life, walk across Gray Street and get hit by a truck. So, what good did that do?
Yeah.
But it's like, and I hear them complain because the air conditioning went off or this isn't working. And I think about those men who really set the foundation for our business.
Roll the windows down.
Yeah, and they're setting up in their sleep and setting up with instruments between.
Yeah.
How many young people today would be that committed to the business to do that? I ain't gonna do.
Yeah,
I had opera stars come over to our show and say, "You could get me to do 5 shows. I wouldn't do 5 shows a day." Well, why not? It's a job.
Yeah, sure.
5 different audiences.
Lord, yeah.
Yeah. 5 different chances to sell a $29.99 guitar.
One of these young guitars, Carl Smith one time said, "Carl said, you seem like you had a lot more fun when you come through than we do." Carl said, "Yeah, but you don't do nothing."
It's a lot easier that way, isn't it? Don't have to put a lot of effort into that, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had time. L.E. White said that he's working at Esco Hankins, and they had no 30-something model limousine, 39 or 40, I don't know, 38. And said they come off Cherokee, North Carolina, the old route.
Yeah.
And said, at that time, it was Monroe Queener. In fact, this guy sent me a book that's got Monroe's autograph on it. Monroe Queener, L.E. White.
Wow.
Uncle Josh was playing mandolin.
Wow.
And Tulik was playing bass. And he said he got right on top of that mountain, about halfway down, he coming down through there, and he said, "Lord, the brakes went out." And said, "I'm going to gear it down." And, in kind, you had to get in, you couldn't get in, and he started trying to shift it and missed it.
No.
And he had no gear. I said, "What happened?" I know. He said he went in one dish, cleaned it out, come back up, cleaned that out, and he said he done some fancy driving.
I bet it was fancy driving.
Clean ditches, tearing up mufflers. And he said, we got down there. Of course, we all need the wash shed to where your washer said.
Yeah.
He said, we come off that mountain, he didn't wreck.
That's pretty good driving.
That's good driving.
If you come out.
He said he went in a ditch, and he come out there and slow it down, go with nothing, cleaned it out.
He hung on that wheel, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's good.
He said, and they put them old bases, on top. They blow off sometimes.
Your
doghouse bases, you saw them.
Well, he was driving.
Yeah, I always had the bass on top.
Yeah.
You know, we had old Jim Ball. You talk about Jim Ball, but and 11E Motel up in Piney Flat, Tennessee. It's up east in up Johnson City area. And Becky wanted to learn to play the bass. So they found out there's this bass, doghouse bass up that guy at the 11E Motel, he sold instruments, you know. So we got in OC's old 1954s, me and Jim Ball and OC. We rode all the way up there to Piney Flat in that old 1954 back about 1972 is when it was. And she bought her bass, and we crammed it inside. We just put it on the roof. We crammed it inside that old Ford, and drove all the way back, you know. And it tickled me to death because we was coming through Sevierville. There was 4 of us packed in that old Ford with that bass in there with us, you know. And old Jim Ball saw a guy riding a bicycle, you know, and he's watching. He said, "Look there," and then he's working his legs to death to give his rear end a ride.
Yeah. You know, I've saw.
Every time I see a bicycle rider, I think that's what he's doing. You know?
Indian said, "Lazy white man sitting down walking."
Yeah.
Anyhow, I saw them old basses in a car that sit it in the back seat and put the neck up front where you can still keep 2 people up front, and you can put one on each side of the bass.
That's
back.
right. Yeah, that's the way we was packed in there, Dave.
Packed in that thing.
Lord, we must have been a sight coming through Sevierville like that. But boy, she was excited. She had her.
I love my bass.
I love my bass. She had an old 1940 C1 bass.
Where'd you get a K?
Oh yeah, it was a K.
Had a K, didn't you?
Yeah, she got a K. But back
She still
then.
got it?
No, she traded that to the company out in California, Zeta Bass. They were wanting that bass to sample the sound. You know, they were doing those. What was that sampling thing that came out when they first started? Those
MIDI keyboards, what?
Yeah, it was like they had them on keyboards where you could take a sound, play it on the keyboard,
sample it.
The same sound sampling.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted that bass to do that upright that they were making. So they gave her one of those Zeta little pole basses, you know, like upright. It's real skinny though, you can carry it.
Yeah.
But it had that same sound as her bass did, so she was happy with it. So it ended up out in the Zeta company out in California.
Yeah, I remember them basses. Zeta was a big company.
She likes hers, and
I used to sell them. I was a dealer for them. I forgot all about them at one time.
She plays it to this day, that Zeta bass, but she still has her uprights. She's got you know,
K.
She's got Engelhardt.
Engelhardt, that's good.
She's got a real nice.
Well, see, Engelhardt was K. They bought K out, and they wouldn't pay them for the name, so they just kept making the same factory.
Right.
It's a K, but they call it Engelhardt.
Yeah, Engelhardt. She's got a real nice Engelhardt.
It's the same thing. It's the same. It's just that instead of, it's kind of like Shoney's instead of
Swing Master. It's called. It's a Swing Master Engelhardt.
It's good.
Good bass. Yeah. It's a 1950, so it's old.
Well, they've been there's a lot of them sold out when the King sold out to K, and a whole bunch of them sold out.
Who makes them now today?
We don't even have American basses. I know of. Engelhardt went out of business now.
So there's no American-made basses left?
We're getting China, but they're high dollar too. A real good Chinese bass right now about $2,500. But it's got some workmanship. It's beautiful.
Are they well made? Are they good? Or?
Yeah, they play good.
But will they hold up through the years?
Yeah, it looks like it will because it's really old, man. It's made beautiful. But Engelhardt went out of business just a few years ago before I quit. They was going out then, and I bought several of their
Were they
bases.
the last ones?
Yeah, there's one about last one I know of. Yeah, there's the last one.
When did K go out?
K sold Engelhardt, I believe, in the 60s.
That long ago?
Yeah,
wow.
It's way back there. It might have been on up there a little further up. I might be telling you, it might have been 70s, but
In bluegrass music, a K bass.
I didn't have a dealership on K, but I did anywhere.
But a K was it.
Yeah.
Get you a good old K bass.
Oh, yeah.
He had that K for years and years. That still remember.
K bass.
One of them that had that. You go down in a receiver and on stage, electrified.
Yeah.
You remember, that's what they've had out there for years.
What you put
And
the
that's when
Underwood
they played all the time.
We put Underwoods on there, like little leaves you put down in there or whatever. Little Underwood pickup had a pretty good sound.
Yeah, you know what? I had one. I let Fate. I was going to sell it because it came from a big orchestra somewhere. It had a microphone in it, and you just walked it down on stage, and it had a hole.
Yeah.
You sit there in that, and it made electric.
I've seen it, and you know what? That's a good sound.
Them things bring 5,000 just like that.
Wow.
And I just want to sell this one because she played it, and first off, she had a real good Engelhart. I mean, a good one. You know, Gibson made them at one time.
Becky has a Gibson bass.
Gibson made them, and then the Navy made them aluminum ones because they had them on the boat and it wouldn't come apart.
You remember Mike Longworth?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, he sold Becky his old Gibson bass.
Was Engelhart not still make the electric bass? The electric bass, the Engelhart, the bass still.
Make nothing. Yeah,
somebody won't buy that bass.
Evidently, they might be.
That was it.
We'll sell it.
Yeah, he's right here. Nice flash.
Bring me $5.
He plays the Engelhart electric bass, don't he?
Who's it? Yeah, they make. You just get to buy the bridge. It's electric in it.
Oh, okay, well.
What route he played?
Well,
whatever was available.
Is that how it was?
Well, let me tell you what he played.
Yeah, tell me what route he played.
Somebody come in there and had a homemade one, and it was pretty good. He played good.
But it was a homemade bass?
Yeah, a homemade bass. It was a little rough like me. Poor Ratty couldn't carry that thing to them festivals across the fields and stuff, so I just went and got a metal strap, put down on it, and put a wheelbar wheel in. Not a wheelbar, but
I got you.
You remember it, don't you? Put a set of wheels on it.
So he'd come out there and do a bass roll.
And he'd just get that thing out of the car. See,
roll her up.
They make one that sticks in the stop, and you can take it out when you go load it. But we stationed there. He's running the axle foot. Mr. F went and painted a big old cowboy on the back, rodeo, rowdy, and playing the guitar. He dolled it up. I mean, put real pretty seams on the front and on the back. We had to get that thing out of the car, and he'd go right up through the field like he had a Cadillac. I mean, you know,
he did have a Cadillac. In the bass world, he did.
So I told him he wanted a better bass or something, and maybe he wanted to go get another guitar and quit the bass, but whatever he wanted, I said, now, I want this bass, Rowdy, and I want to sit in here. It's a showpiece. And it won't be for sale. Well, here comes some woman. I guess she's rich. She was not hardly as rich as she was, and she left, but she...
Don't buy no cheap basses, right?
No.
She didn't like it. She wasn't no bass player. Oh, she said, that is the prettiest thing I've ever saw in my life. With them cowboys on it, them trees and all that. Lord, I'm buying that, put in my living room. What would you take for that? And I said, well, we don't much want to sell that. That belongs to the boy that played bass here, and I tried. She said, now, just make me a price, and I did. And she said, I believe I'll just take it. I thought sure she'd throw something at me, hit me with her pocketbook, but she didn't do it and took it, and I lost that bass.
That was good. Did Rowdy come back and miss his bass?
No, he didn't care.
There you go.
We had the others in there. He just take anybody he wanted to, but he didn't have no wheels on it.
So he just played whatever was available.
Yeah.
Whatever there were.
Yeah.
We did some trading one day. I selling a tractor and a bunch of stuff years ago, and Mike was working for me to build me a chicken house. And this fella had a road money choke horse, and he's buying this, he's buying that. And Ricky I had a paper. He bought $13,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
And I said, Mike, me and that guy had the money. He bought $13,000. I said, he had a lot of money. Mike said, I like the way you said it. He had it.
He had a lot of money.
He had.
Well, he left with a bunch of stuff he wanted, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
He's bought valuables, man, antiques and stuff. You know, you never know when you see a guy that walk in that this guy walked in, he's a little bit arrogant, maybe not. Well, he wasn't friendly like men used to put it that way.
Success makes people arrogant.
Heard you had a Martin collection. I said, yeah, I did. I do. Good numbers, 500s, 100. I said, I picked them out of the crop when they come in. I don't pick them before it's listening to them, but I picked good numbers. Maybe made 100 and I got number 50.
Right.
And, or number 100. And he looked at them, and there's a lot of them. They got way up in the big bucks. He said, would you sell them? I said, now, I'll tell you something. If I sold them to you, I took it. First off, I didn't want to go back there and start looking at them. And he said, well, I don't look at all of them. I just want you to write down what names you got. Kitty Wells, and Johnny Cash, and George Jones, and Porter Wagner, and all them, you know, Grand Ole Opry, and Andy Griffin and everything. And I said, now, I'll sell them to you. But they got to be for top dollar. Plus sales tax. I've got to do it upright. Because I'm going to cry when you walk out of here with them things. And I want enough money to get me a roll towel. So he looked at me and he said, he never cracked a smile. He said, I said, you have to take them all. You can't take one. And look here, if you was to cut 1 penny, I'd walk out of here and we'll leave. I wouldn't even take 1 penny less. I'm not being hard to get along with. I just don't want to sell them. I said, no, they're one at half and half 18, half 28.
I remember that one.
I kid you, I got one back.
You showed me that one.
I still got it now, another one.
Wow.
But that one was brand new, and we took it to the A Model Club to a watermelon slicing, and I let Pappy Beaver's son play it, and he rubbed it on one of them lawn chairs. He didn't scratch it, but he left that aluminum paint on it. So he had to do is take a little bit of lighter fluid and wipe it off. And he said, well, I'll take them all, but that there got that little spot on it. And I said, no, you take it too. I ain't going to keep none of them. I mean, I'm going to have one. And so he said, okay, I'll take it. Well, he walked up there and bought another, what's that guy that plays Dor Lawson, Mammon, $10,000.
Dor Lawson?
He looked up on the wall and started buying $100 Tacominas. And I sold him 5
Tacominas?
Gene Autry's. Gene Autry's, 6,000 a piece. And I just had one, and I knew a guy had them, so I called him up and made a deal with him on them, sold him in. We bought 5 from that guy.
But they were Tacominas, Gene Autry?
No, that was he bought a bunch of Tacominas.
But they were Martins, right? Yeah. Gene Autry was.
Gene Autry's Martin, yeah.
Yeah, Gene Autry.
That's that $6,000 one that was made 60 of them, 50 for the United States. And then he come back and made another swap on stuff he ordered. I mean, he come in, he had a lot of money come in on.
Well,
I didn't know about him, see. I called a fella that knowed him real well, and I said, this boy's in here, how is he on checks? What I need to do is, good. Said, his mother died and left him rich, and said whatever he says is...
Like you said...
He said, don't have too good a personality with whatever he says.
You know, it's funny, you can say he's not as rich as he used to be, but the fact that those guitars...
They went up in value.
He still has his money.
Oh, he's got a lot of money now.
He's got a lot of money
He's
now.
got stuff.
Exactly.
He made a good deal.
He made a good deal.
Because he's got mint stuff and he couldn't pick.
Yeah.
You know, it's all just sitting there. He's probably can double his money right now.
He doesn't have it in cash till he sells his guitars, but he hadn't lost any money.
No, he made more money made in the bank.
Not investing in those Martins, he didn't.
If we'd kept some of that stuff, old hickories, it's made 50 of them, 50 or 52 of them, remember, or something like that.
And
55,
Gibson.
wasn't it?
Gibson Les Paul hickories?
55, wasn't it?
Something like that.
We ought to kept them things. It could have, no, it wasn't, it was 200.
I sold.
It was 200
I sold, you know, that
sold for 5,500.
That tree that fell on Rachel's grave down at the Hermitage, they made old hickory gypsum.
That's it, too.
I sold one of those.
What'd you get? Just to go high?
4,000 something. But
That's worth the last one I had.
But it didn't belong to me. It belonged to somebody. They gave it to me to sell for them. I thought about buying it.
I sold one to.
Maybe I should have.
Steve, my nephew, had collected one, and he sold it pretty good while back. He sold it for $55, 20 years ago.
Right.
Oh, something what they're bringing now.
I don't know.
There wasn't no two of them alike.
No, but I don't know what they're bringing now. Do you?
I've not even saw one for sale.
Last time we looked, there's about 665 when we looked at it.
I know somebody came out one day, and I can't remember what it was. Was it Gene Alter or George John Vaughan? 25,000. He had it.
You know, I got to look it up. I got to look it up, Dave. Like what I bought my house for in Nashville back in 1976. And you know, because the things have changed so much through the years, and I got on that Google thing, that AI stuff, you know, and the first thing it said was, "Who is this?" No. Anyway, I said, so I put the price that I paid for my house, you know, in there, and I said, how much would that be worth in today's dollars? You know, in other words, if I spent this much money in 1976 to spend that equal buying power amount, how much would I have to spend today? And it came back and it said $1 in 1976 is $5 today. And so
there you go.
Spent $5 back then, I guess it's like spending $25 today. But that's how much inflation has gone up in the 50 years that we've been. So you take those guitars that you bought, you know, and you.
But some things goes a lot quicker and more higher than that.
Absolutely.
Take a RC Cola was 5 cents. Now it's anywhere from $1 to $2.
It was 5 cents.
5 cents.
Yeah, a nickel soda pop. We had nickel soda pop.
I remember it went 6 cents and then 7 cents, and then it jumped to a dime.
When I was dating Becky at Hospital Drugstore, when I went in there that night, you could sit down and get
cost you a dime.
Well, you get cheeseburger and a cherry Coke for 30 cents. You know.
But this guy asked David, he said...
But it's hard to find $1, too, you know.
He said, I bet you wouldn't sell that. And David said, I'll sell you a store.
Exactly. Don't tell David West, I bet you won't sell it.
Don't bet him. You'll lose.
Yeah. Hey, I had that, remember those Indians sitting on that big wagon?
I do.
Yeah, I walked through there and he said, everything in here for sale? I said, yes, sir. I hate to walk into a store and see not for sale on it, you know.
Yeah.
I said, yes, sir. He said, where you take that hat off that Indian? I said, $20. He handed it to me when I door. I got nothing. Said nothing. I looked at that Indian hat again. $20.
He don't want his Indian get a cold.
One of a kind.
There it is. You're the only one till this one.
My necktie that time on stage.
These are unique. You can't find these anywhere.
Nowhere in the world.
We was playing at Appalachian Museum. It's Halloween. And somebody gave me a Halloween tie, pumpkin and scarce things on it. And after I got through it, a woman said, would you sell that tie? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, how much? I said, $10. I heard the boy say, he's selling this tie. Look at him. I'll tell you about my uncle. I bought his farm later, but he had a big farm down there, his nice farm. And he just come from the farm, taking care of the cows. You know what he looked like, his old pants. Nasty. And two guys was discussing, well, where do you take for this? And I don't know. What they... And he didn't like to hear that because he was a big businessman. And I followed that him a little bit, I guess, about his farm. He said, why don't you give him a prize? He said, everything in this world's for sale. Tell him, I'd say you my paint if you want them. And Jim Beck said, how much you take for them? He said, $20. And they was on cow shame all over.
No, you're kidding.
And Jim, just for the kick, he said, I'll just take them. And he didn't crack a smile. He walked around behind the counter. And took his pants down, sold them to him, and took his coat and tied it around him, went out the door. My sister Faye is my uncle. She said, boy, you've done some good business on them paints. And I said, no, I didn't. Said I went home. My wife thought such a fit, I just give her the $20.
My wife told such a fit, I gave her the $20.
He was chewing at the back and he'd run the door. He went, back in there, rock driveway. Everything was rocking. Yeah. He'd run there and she said, Uncle, won't you quit that old nasty stuff? Said, you get to heaven, said, you spit some of that there and some poor woman's going to fall and break her leg. He said, no, they're giving me golden cuspidor.
Golden cuspidor.
And he'd tell me, I didn't get to see his daddy and my daddy, which was, they were brothers.
You think there's a golden cuspidor in heaven?
I don't know whether he's chewing tobacco or not.
I'd have to do some thinking on that.
Yeah, chewing tobacco too, wouldn't it?
A golden cuspidor in the pearly gates. I can't understand. That's a change hour.
Of course, they had like Dolly. You see it moving her when she was growing up. They had a movie.
Oh, had that little girl in it?
Yeah.
I saw parts of it.
Said, I think it was her uncle. I mean, her grandfather.
Mr.
Preacher,
Owens.
yeah.
Mr. Owens, the preacher.
And, of course, she had some lipstick on and stuff, and he said, I said, you need to wipe that off. Said, you want me to get into heaven wearing that old makeup like that? Said, she said, why, you got to look like hell to get in?
Yeah.
I said, that is exactly Dolly Parton.
That is Dolly. She's a quick wit.
This one guy said, he's talking about that, said, all that old paint and stuff you got on, he said, yeah, some of the barns looks better after the paint. You know what thing my uncle told me about Papa said. He said, your grandpa said, and he died real young, 40-something year old. He said, it's as much knowing when as knowing how.
Mm-hmm.
But they had some good sayings back in there. Old people.
Well, that's true.
And he said that the guy come in, my Papa said, do you know so-and-so? And he said, yeah, I know him. He said, what kind of person is he? He said, lie, beg, and steal.
Sums it up, doesn't it?
Boy, he laid down it. He laid, lie, beg, and steal. And he said, see, my grandpa run up. They owned all that up on around Beck's Curve, way up in there. Plumb from Lonesome Dove to Beaver Creek. And both sides of the road. But he said that this guy, that he come in the store and said, he bought some stuff on credit and said he had showed up. And my papa said, you know, we'll call him Bill or Sam or something. Said, you know what's sad about old Sam, man? And he said, what happened? Said, he died. He died. Said, yeah, he told me he'd be here Saturday. Paid me if he was alive. And said he didn't come in. So he
Either way.
Either he trusted him.
Either way, if he's alive, he'd be here. So I have to assume he's dead. You know, Charlie Collins told me a story about he's from Caryville, born up there in Caryville, Tennessee, and lived in them hills. And he said back, he's talking about the people who lived in our area here in Scott County, Anderson County, up in Union County, and up that way. And he said, old boy got drafted, went to Vietnam. He'd been off Vietnam for years. He coming up the holler, he'd gotten mustered out, lived through the war. He said he come up there and there's an old man sitting on the front porch just watching him, He said, hello, Mr. Jones. He said, I'm Charlie Smith. Said, I've been off to the Vietnam War. Said, you probably don't remember me. He said, I remember you. Knew your old daddy, too. In other words, I don't like you, don't like your uncle, don't like your grandpa.
Don't like any of you.
Don't like anybody that's in your family.
Or your parakeet either.
There you go.
Once they set that opinion on you, buddy, it don't change, It's like, that's it. No, I remember you. Knew your old daddy, too.
My daddy was peddling, and I do a lot of my renters this way now, but when Daddy was peddling and home, was doing the black section up there, and Charlie he's got like that guy on Andrew Griffith show. He had this great old big carrying case. he went house to house, selling stuff like hose, silk hose, and men's socks, and homes, and light swaps and everything. And he'd go around knocking on doors, but he raised fruits and vegetables for my daddy. He stopped right, and here come a guy up. He said, "Hey, how you doing, Uncle Charlie?" Uncle Charlie said, "We you kin folks, ain't we?" He said, "I thought we was first cousins." He said, No, not that kind. That little bitch you owed me for the other day. Oh, how much was it? He said $2, so he paid him. He said, "Okay, we're back on speaking terms again." I got this one renter, he heard that. And every time he paid his rent, he'd say, "Now we're on speaking terms again, every day." And I said,
My daddy sold those Electrolux vacuum cleaners all around here, Anderson County. He's big on Electrolux vacuum cleaners, you know. And he told me a story one time. He went to the front door and knocked on the door. You know, if there's hard selling in life, door to door has got to be the hardest thing. I could never do that. I just could not knock on somebody's door. But he'd walk right up there, you know, he'd knock on that door and said some lady slammed the door in his face, just opened up and saw him sitting there with his vacuum cleaner, you know. She just slammed the door in his face. He said, "Ray, he ran right to the back door." Said he knocked on the door and said that same lady came to the door and he said, "You know that lady that lives in the front side of this house just slammed the door?" I said, "I know you a lot nicer lady than that." And he got her tickled. He got inside her vacuum cleaner. He said, that lady lives in the front side of this house. She just slammed the door in my face. I couldn't do. Bless his heart. That's what he wanted me to do, was to get in the vacuum cleaner salesman business. I was working up in Gold Rush Junction when it was a
Gold Rush Junction,
Cleveland Browns attraction. And Becky and I, just young kids, just got out of the Air Force, went to work up there with OC and Jim, Smoky Mountain Brush Breakers. I was proud to be a member of the Smoky Mountain Brush Breakers for a couple of years.
Something had a hold up on the train.
I love that name. Oh, Lord, we had a hold up on the train.
I like hold ups ahead.
You know, I just saw where they're not going to let them be steam engines no more. They got to. You talk about the environment when you first started, before I got here, and I thought about them trains are going to be changed. But David, I did everything when I got to that theme park. I was a deputy. I was the sheriff. Becky was my deputy. And old John Henry III, Robert Owens, Dolly's uncle, he was Black Bart. And we had a little show we did on that train every day where the people that run the safety for things today, we might be a lot safer, but we ain't having half the fun we used to, because we used to run and jump on that train while it was moving.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, just jump on.
I rode it while y'all did it.
Yeah, and we chased John Henry all through them cars. He got one car to the other. We'd be shooting with our little blank pistols, you know.
Yeah.
And Becky was so funny, because her little gig was, she sat up there on top of the mountain in this little wigwam, had a little teepee, you know. She's dressed like a little Indian girl.
Yeah.
And she's in this teepee. So I'm running John Henry all through this train while it's going up the mountains. And, you know, he's with the people customers of the park, but I'm trying to catch him. They're all saying, "He went that way." The little kids he's in the other car, and I'd be running after him, you know. Well, at the top, John Henry's supposed to jump off the train and run into that teepee. And then, he got away, and all of a sudden he's got his hands up and he's backing out, because Becky's in there with a big old rifle, and she's got this rifle on him. See, the little Indian girl caught him, you know. So we did this like 3 or 4 times a day, and we're wearing John Henry out, and he's older than us, and we got all this energy. And I'll give him credit. He didn't complain. He didn't say anything. But I know he did not want to run that fast. He did not want to run that long. I know he was wearing that old boy out. You know?
He's pretty heavy too.
And he had a little weight on him. He was carrying more than saddlebags, I'll tell you that. But anyway, he never complained. I mean, he did his work.
Yeah.
But the one that got me the most was he jumped off this train and he fell down, skinned his knees, skinned his britches, and he's crawling to this teepee. He ain't running. He's actually just trying to get to it. And he told me, he said, I looked in that teepee, and Becky was sitting on his little box putting on her makeup. She turns around and says, I'm getting tired of this. He said, you? She's sitting on a box putting on her makeup, and he's dirty, he's dusty, he's sweaty, he's hot. But I would not. What's that Dolly Parton song? No amount of money could buy for me.
Oh, that was some of the days I saw it.
But no amount of money could make me go back and live through it again. But man, what fun
Wasn't
we
it
had
fun days?
to make a living doing what you love.
Yeah.
Just
and entertaining people and see them enjoy it so much.
You got your instant gratification, the applause of the people, the laugh. You didn't have to wait to see some chart or something.
Yeah.
There was just something good about the warmth of the live audience and their appreciation.
Yeah.
You fed off of it, David. You've been on stage. When someone understands and appreciates.
Hillbillies, that's what it's all about.
I think so.
Jim Ball, see, we did, of course, me and you come up under Jim Ball.
We did.
That was what taught us everything in the music business at an early age.
He taught us about how to work on stage. I know that.
But he'd say, said, how many of you folks rode the train today? And there'd be hands everywhere. I was on there and they had a hold up on that train. Said, I tell you what, said it wasn't fake. Said, what this guy got on there, said, I reckon he thought he was Jesse James. Said, buddy, he was taking everything. Said, he took jewelry, he took everything that was loose. Pocketbook, said, when he jumped off, said, I looked and said, the little daughter sitting beside of me and said, she started putting her necklace back on. And then she put a ring on. I said, honey, where did you hide that? Said, Jesse James didn't get it. She said, in my mouth. He said, oh, Lord, I wish we'd had your mama. We could save the suitcase. You remember that?
I thought you were going to tell that one. I'm gonna rob all the men and kiss all the women.
Yeah.
I remember that one. This old boy said, you may rob this train, but you ain't kissing my wife. And she said, sit down and let this man rob the train the way he wants to. Those were the corniest old jokes, but they were the best ones.
Oh, yeah.
He told one.
He could do them.
He told one about going in this restaurant, and this waitress was in the restaurant like a Shoney's up there in Gatlinburg. This would be like 1971 or something. And he told this joke about going in the restaurant and he said, hey, little girlie, what's that you got around your neck? She said, oh, this? She said, it's a choker. Do you like it? He said, well, I thought it was your garter. Everything else in here is so doggone high. That was a Jim Ball joke.
It was funny. Sometimes he had me and Roger and Fred playing music.
Yep.
And he wouldn't take his fiddle. He'd just walk with us and drive sometimes. And then he'd get extra like his audience and he'd start flipping pennies down at us.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, he did. I thought he going to get that on me. I just quit picking and started picking them up.
I bet you did pick them pennies up.
Yeah. Another thing would make him, you know how they get out. Ron had to see us for it to be funny, but we played 18 restaurants a night. They call ballyhooing. You walk in, can I have your attention, please, and you play a little bit of a tune, and
somebody go around
handing out brochures and all that stuff, and so he'd haul us to the very end in his 57 Chevrolet 4-door. I mean, hardtop, 4-door hardtop, and he'd go down the street, sitting on the edge of that seat like he did, and people run up. We had the banjo on us and guitar, so we jump out and start picking.
Yeah.
And he said, somebody looked at him and said, what do you got there? He said, well, my radio quit, and I got me some live music in the back seat.
My radio.
And then we went on down there, and then, of course, Roger was younger than me, and he thought I was young, too, 20-something, and he said, about 21 or 2, and he said he thought everything I did was, look up to Big Brother. And we'd run ahead of him, and we'd get on one of them dime horses. I used to get up on the dime horse and meet the banjo, and he had the guitar, and here come 2 of them others carrying the bass.
Yeah.
And he'd stick a nickel or a dime in, and he'd go, do Poker Mountain breakdown, and it would embarrass them. They'd walk right on by us like they didn't even know who it was. And when we got through playing, we'd jump off, wait on us.
I don't know how many. I imagine out there somewhere are some young people who still remember restaurant runs in Gatlinburg. But for the whole period of the 70s and into some of the 80s, that was a main
Apache,
thing.
you remember it?
I do remember Fort Apache.
Well, something.
Yeah.
Wow, was sure.
But it's like just to get out. I mean, if you wanted to be competitive and you wanted people in your seats at night in your show, everybody else was doing restaurant runs. You better get out there and do it yourself,
But
too.
you did it. You better get that crowd.
You better get that crowd before somebody else does, But I wonder if you mentioned that to today's musicians about restaurant runs. And
they wouldn't even do stuff like that.
I don't think they would, because they have other ways to make a living better. But
we lived that, breathed it. L.A. had out the #1 hit song by Conway Twitty, which made a Grammy, and he had that suit on, a big coat down in July, sweating. Come on at the concert hall tonight.
I didn't say we were smart.
Hey, we're playing 7 nights a week.
I know, out there with a long coat on in July.
He said, well, he had to dress up because he had #1 song.
Exactly.
He said, come on up to the concert hall tonight now, since we got the menu with the #1 song out, L.E. White with Conway Twitty. I love you more today. He's going to be doing it. And see, they'd walk in the restaurant. Think about playing 18 restaurants and then 2 shows at night up there.
Yeah.
And if I was on some Poker Mountain Top, I had to hit that.
Yep.
Baby, we have your attention, please. Da 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 da. And I was goofing around, and my mind went blank after I'd done it 2 months. I done it 7 nights a week for 2 months, and I looked over at this board, and I said, the bass player, and I said, they said, may I have your attention, please? And I said, what's the name of that thing? He said, oh, what's wrong with you? he wouldn't tell me. They all sat looking right at me. I got picked. And I just started rolling. It picked it. But see, now they were so serious. They didn't like stuff like that. They wanted you to be able to do your work.
Well, you can overthink that stuff. I found out that most audiences, if you're natural and you're having fun, they'll pick up on that.
They have fun too.
You can join in with you. You work off of me.
And if you're a hard master and you're difficult on stage, difficult with your musicians, if you want everything to be perfect and you're not relaxed, that tightness shows too.
Mm-hmm.
And it there's no such thing as perfection repeated over and over. There's got to be room for the joy. And what was it? Jim Ball's opening line was, he get out there and he said, come on in, folks. And Elks Plaza, he said, come on in, sit down, forget your troubles and listen to ours. We got plenty of them. And he just disarmed it at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't no big fancy production. You don't have to worry about how you look or how you dress, because we ain't worried about it ourselves. He just had this way, and it was a school for young. Roy Incuff asked me why. I was 28 when I moved to Nashville, and he wanted to know why I waited so late. Well, 4 years in the Air Force was part of it. You didn't have any choice because they were drafting you back then. So I chose the Air Force because I liked the Air Force. And so I spent my 4 years there. So I'm 24. And I knew I wasn't ready for Nashville or any part of it. I would just want to go back to the Smoky Mountains. That's what I missed the most.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came home from the military, I didn't know what I was going to do or nothing. I just moved to Gatlinburg. I thought I'd just root it out and see what the opportunities were. And my first job was an elevator operator on that Space Needle that they built. And people didn't realize it, but people wouldn't ride it. Hobie Trenum, Sam Stalkup, they built that. The Rebel Corner people built it. And I learned a valuable lesson in business, too. I was riding that thing every day, and it's push button. You get on there and push a button and go up. But people didn't want to get on it because it didn't have an operator on. They wasn't going to get on that thing, you know.
Oh, I know it.
And they could go across the street to that ski lift, you know. It was downtown, and it was higher than the Space Needle. You know? So what do you want to ride up that Space Needle for? Well, they hired me to be an elevator operator, so they'd have somebody on it. You know, be like a tour guide, tell them on it, you know, and I'd say little jokes like...
What's rattlesnakes down under you?
Yeah, and I'd say, well, you know, I never forget the route, you know, just little quips you'd have, you know. This job has its ups and downs. You never...
I think, what did it take? About 20 minutes in here? 15?
It didn't take that, man. You just went up.
15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, you spend all the time up there walking around.
I know.
This is before it had any gaming or there was nothing.
Oh, you had the outhouses.
Nothing. Absolute. Just stood by itself.
He's talking about Space Needle.
I'm
talking about the ski lodge.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Space Needle.
Space Needle, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They opened it in 1970, and I just got out of my first job.
Oh, yeah.
And going up and down that Space Needle. And the thing that I learned from Hobie and them was I knew that nobody was riding it. All spring, all April, all May. It had to be May or June, early summer, because I got out in May. So in June and going into July, nobody was riding the Space Needle. But every time somebody asked Hobie, and I saw Hobie more than Sam, but every time somebody would ask him, how's your Space Needle doing? It's doing great. It's wonderful. Didn't cry the blues, didn't say his business was bad, everything was great. Everybody likes it. He actually planted that seed, and I watched during the summer where somebody said, what is there to do in Gatlinburg? Well, everybody's riding that Space Needle. There wasn't nobody riding that Space Needle. But Hobie went around saying everybody was riding the Space Needle. So the waitresses and the people at the hotels and stuff said, well, people are riding that Space Needle. And his business grew. And then he was smart enough next year to have stuff underneath it. And instead of charging for the Space Needle, it eventually became free, and he made all his money off the gaming things and stuff he had underneath it. But I learned, you know, no matter how your life is, no matter what's going on, you let people know that you're doing fine. Because that's what they want to gravitate to, is that you're doing okay, everything's good.
Something to ride, you know. We were playing there, me and Fred Smith and Monroe and somebody else there was helping us. And they said, let's just go up on the Space Needle. So we got up there and went up. And when you get up there, you look down on the street, Ron, you've probably done it before. You look at a car at the front bumper, and just a few minutes, you'll be all the way over to the back bumper.
Yeah, it's spinning.
That thing moves.
Yeah.
And I said, come here a minute, Fred. Here, look at the front of that car right there. Keep your eye right on it. I kept moving over to the back. He said, that thing moved 15 feet. He said, let's get off of here right now. He got scared when he saw what he was doing.
Well.
And he said, then he told me at night, he said, shoot, I went up on that Space Needle. I said, I walked all the way to the top of it when you had an elevator. He said, I come down on the elevator. And he said, that woman must have didn't try to stop. She hit the bottom.
Yep.
So she slammed them brakes on, and she said, did I stop too quick for you? And he said, no, ma'am. I always wear my pants around my ankles.
Exactly.
Hey, the one that I got us crossed up on where you went to ski lift. Boy, that was all them snakes down at the bottom, you remember?
Well, you're talking about the big sky. I'm talking about that smaller one downtown.
Yeah, I know it, but that big one, you worked that big one.
But we were, Becky and I worked, that's Mount Harrison up there. We spent a summer working on that top of that mountain.
On top of that mountain? What did it take, about 20 minutes?
It took 20 minutes to go up and 20 minutes. You know, it was the best job because...
It was a good job.
Because no matter what the hustle or bustle was, you were by yourself sitting in that chair. Before you went to work, you spent 20 minutes. It's like taking 20 minutes of just meditation and silence and looking at the mountains, you know.
The beautiful, boy, that was a treat.
And no matter what kind of day you had, you got another 20 minutes by yourself
to cool off,
to just take it easy, you know.
And no juice up there, no electricity. Had the old outhouses.
And
they'd say, don't go out, don't put in that outhouse now, because the copperheads, rattlers out there, and bears do not feed them.
And
bears.
they was. And Jim Ball fiddled up a snake once. And little Roger was up there playing too, you know. Roger's a teenager then, but he was up there playing. And Jim Ball, he fiddled up a snake. You know, they say snakes will draw up to hear the vibrations or whatever. You can fiddle one up close. I don't know if that's just an old mountain story or not, but this one showed up, and O.C. started preaching about this snake. He got up and started preaching now. You know, he started preaching about to the tourists and everybody. They got this snakes over there, you know. And so he said, and somebody had gone over there and killed a snake, whomped it on the head or something, but they killed this snake before it was any danger. And Oaks gets up and starts preaching about where snakes is talked about in the Bible, about how, you know, a man was meant to bruise the head of the snake, and the snake was meant to bruise the head. Roger said, we sure did bruise his head, didn't we?
Poor O.C. was...
And O.C. got drawn up then. He didn't like me, but we sure got a laugh out of that. We sure did bruise his head.
They had to send the food up in chairs too, because they wasn't no electricity. But what you go down in mountains, Russ, you look right down under your feet.
Yeah, there they were.
Copperheads.
Yeah, there they were.
There's sunning at
Saw them all the time, buddy. Saw them all the time.
Let's tell you, say, don't get up there. If you get there, you'll get bit. It's 20 minutes to get downtown, and then so many minutes to get to Knoxville, somewhere where there's a hospital. So you can live for that hour and a half.
Well, luckily we was above them snakes. They couldn't, but you could see them if you look down and look for them.
Oh yeah,
in July.
They're sunning on them big rocks.
Be sunning on the rocks.
I saw many one of them down there.
I loved it up there in the mornings.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah.
Put your banjo. I put the banjo in one seat and then sat in the other and took my sister up there. Put her in.
I've got an old publicity photo somewhere with Roger's old Gretsch that he let me use for the picture on top of Mount Harrison with that scenery in the background. What, about 1971 or something. But man, what a great, and you know, Becky was pregnant with Christy that summer. That's before our daughter was born. And one time, you know, the ski lift went out that summer, and she had to be like 4 or 5 months pregnant, but then because Christy was born in December, but we had to hike off that mountain.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. We had to hike off that mountain down to the bottom because the ski lift wouldn't work no more, you know. And
Did you go down where the ski lift come up, or was there a trail to get down?
There had to be a trail.
I was going to say.
No, there had to be some trail we walked, but we came down the mountain.
Choo.
And carrying that base down that mountain, too, you know.
Good Lord.
But she sure did, but she was like 5 or 6 months pregnant. But now, Becky would remember what the trail was.
I bet she would.
You know, Lord, Ron, I couldn't remember what I had for breakfast. I've been scatterbrained all my life.
Me too.
Remember stuff, you know.
Oh, man, we had some times up there, and they had big logs cut on. You sit on big logs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, O.C. knew where the honey tree was, but you had to go into forbidden territory to get to the honey tree. But he'd take us, little old fence in the back there, and we'd go through that, and we'd go down a trail to where the honey tree was. Had to watch for the bears because the bears wanted the honey tree too. Man, what a great way to grow up, Dave.
And then it got on the end carved. It said on carved it. I got one of his carvings. That was on later when they got all the fishers and everything.
Yep.
What was his name? Townsend or something like that. Banjo picker.
Yep.
Yeah. Good banjo picker.
Yeah, a lot of good players back
Oh, he's
then.
a good picker. And I bought one of his carvings. I stayed there and he carved me out of Santa Claus. It's in one of my rooms there, the kitchen dining room. And so this lady and some guy came in the store, and I can't think his first name. His last name's Townsend, and And she said, I was picking something. She said, boy, that's good picking. She said, do you know whatever his name was? And I said, yeah, I know him real well. I've heard him pick. He used to go up there and just sit down to relax. I mean, we just go up there and sit on that big log and just sit there all day and just watch him and listen to him. And I said, I got one of his carvings that he did. And she said, what kind of banjo picker do you think he is? I said, I think he's one of the best. He plays the right things when he's supposed to be playing. I said, he's a top shelf banjo picker. She said, that means a lot coming from you. That's my son.
Wow. Aren't you glad you said some good things?
Well, I just told her what I thought.
Well, sometimes that can get you in trouble, too.
Yeah, I know it.
Pretty good idea.
I could have said, yeah, he's about like me. Has been.
You ever know Orville Reagan?
Who?
You ever cross Orville Reagan?
I knew he was.
Yeah. You ever get to play music with him?
I don't think I ever worked with him.
Yeah, because he played a little different style.
Yeah.
And then I know you played some with Smokey White.
Oh, yeah, Smokey.
Yeah.
Me and Smokey, Smoke Pole, we done a lot of shows together with Archie and different people. He worked sometimes.
Smokey was good.
We was.
Well, he knowed him too.
He was like your friend over in Oliver Springs, played the guitar. Luke Brandon.
They were just like brothers.
Can you imagine Luke Brandon and Smokey White and you all three playing together? Goodness, man. Did y'all ever do that?
Him and Archie Campbell, Smokey White, and Luke was the good trio that's ever been on the band.
I was going to say, but did you
good trio's ever been.
So you talking about with Archie or with you?
Why'd you like him?
Archie and Smokey and Luke, they played together.
Years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
they were one of the first people on the television.
Archie had that TV show.
Yeah, they was first.
And they were all...
Ellie White, Luke Brandon, Ralph Cornish, Archie, and
I just know the way Luke knew his chords, the way he played, and the way Smokey White played. The two of them together, and then throw David in there with what he goes on the banjo. That would be an evening of music right there.
You know, Ellie called me one time and said, Bill needs a band. Bill said, he's got, boy playing bass. He said, he's wanting me to help. He said, be sure to pick up the guitar and the banjo. Will you all go help us? I said, I don't know. You don't play to suit Bill Monroe. He'd take you off right on stage, and I can't take it. Said, oh, he'll love you. He said, you play the right chord, you're playing time. That's all he had to do, play right. He said, he just love you to death. I didn't know Luke used to see.
Oh.
He worked with the brothers, three of them.
Okay.
And he didn't say he come up Reno, he got it time. Bill Monroe and his bluegrass boys, he walked out, and his family. We're going to do one little make something. We'll get Lee to get off. I sure was glad he said that. Well, he hit that. Luke stuck his guitar back in his ear. Bomb, 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 bomb. He was pushing him in there. Every four. He gave me my break one night, laid it in there, good heavy bluegrass. And halfway through it, I saw him smile. Yeah. Smile on his face. He looked back. All right, give these people a hand. Now, right here is a band tonight. We got a band tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah,
Delhi. Address Delhi. I need to do recording stuff. Now, Will Arm said, keep it right, man.
How many bluegrass followers today do you think realize that Ellie might played a role? Do you think they even know it?
He was one of Bill's favorite man. Years ago, it was L.A. and Sonny Osborne and Bill. Three of them had right in the front seat. I forget who the other one was. Sonny Osborne played banjo and somebody else. But anyhow, he said, Ellie said, but Sonny was younger than him and said, it ought to make him right in the middle. Now take turns about riding in that middle. That's hard on you, apparently. He said, we'd always switch it. He'd sleep, candy bars, and said, we'd keep telling him, no, I rode the middle last time. It's your turn. And keep me in it. And I guess who that guy was driving, played guitar. And he said, well, little old Sonny dog on his legs sitting in that big old high thing, you know, in that big old limo. Bill wanted that limo because there wasn't a lot of room in the back. Pull off to the side of the roads. I need to take a little break.
Yeah.
You remember that? You put over the side of the road, you open the door.
Right down the cliff.
Fell down.
Yeah. Went right over the side.
He fell over. L.A., you know how L.A. was. He was real dry. And he told me, he said, I don't think it hurt him. He said, he got mad because he skint one of his boots. Said he was sitting in the back seat.
Yeah.
His boots, he get his boots for his hands. I think it's because he skint one of his boots.
Exactly.
L.A. could say, he was driving. He could make it be fun.
Where'd the bluegrass boy go?
He said, we was playing a big show. We was playing for Hammer, opening up the trainer. And me and L.A. Ava Barber was still with my 12. They said, can you get her? I said, yeah, she's in town. I'll get her. Had Ava Barber and L.A. and Lover Jean, and I had that big black It's L.A.'s birthday or something. They brought him a big cake. You remember we had Dolly Parton cake. Dolly Parton cake.
I wanted bits of that on the radio.
Okay, but anyhow.
Or on the television either.
And so, L.A. sitting back there.
I just remember her golden voice.
Sitting back there in the back. And April walked up. Of course, L.A. like Frank, but I could tell serious. She walked up and said, hi, L.A. He said, how you doing? Okay. She looked at me and said, I said, no, I got what he was. And I said, he knows who you are. But he just picked me at her and don't tell her. I don't like it. Got her. He said, you know some cake? I said, no, I don't know. Man. You bet you got one at Dolly. Sat there right there eating right in front of everybody. And people in that team. He said, boy, I watched you on television ever since I was a little boy. He looked at me and said, who on earth is him old 90-year-old father? Said, I wasn't even born. He was watching me on TV. Then he stopped and he said, you know where I am?
Yeah.
Oh, he was somebody to work with.
Him and L.A. had a little rope something. I said, when he's feeling up, he busted over.
Did he really?
L.A. was pretty quick tempered.
Had a temper.
Yeah. Had a feel like horses. Okay.
Well, if you have a temper, it's good to be able to defend
The word Kaz was talking about.
He got a fence
Right
like a
into
horse.
him. Bailey and all of them.
Yeah, we got five. This Tulip, Danny Bailey, and L.A. Charlie Bailey. Charlie just got out of the Army. And L.A. said they was going to take just a bunch of girls boys off the girls one night. He said they jerked my door open and beat me and so I couldn't get out. Just pounded me. So that guy got it. Mr. Walker's telling me that he come out of her and he's got a fist like a hoof. Every time he hit one, he hit the ground and said that Charlie Bailey got out and took a mic stand with him up the bottom of the bar. Yeah. And said he went berserk. He started screaming like he's in combat, like he's in a
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he went wow. And every time he hit one and he knocked him out. He said, you know, he hit something so hard he bent it. And he said, Danny and Tulip was in the back seat. Tulip had a hammer.
Oh.
And Danny shut the fish door open and he'd hit one of them with it. He said, when he did, when I slammed the door to his hand and he couldn't He had a big old bandage on that night and was trying to play bass on that big old
With a
drum.
big bandage.
They had a hammer. It's just a whole gang of them, And what was it? Monroe was with him too on another one. Danny was coming out. He had a money sack. Took that money. Said when he did, said that this boy kept picking at Danny, trying to get money. Mr. Walker, come on, Dan, come on, we gotta go. And I think that was right, Mr. Walker. He took him a lot within him. Right. Said he just opened the door and he walked out there. Mr. Walker, he thought, oh, get that guy right beside the head. And he hit the ground, knocked him out. And now, come on, get in the car. Get you in there. He said, well, they had some really great things,
Yes, they did.
Bill Carlisle and little Robert did. I take each other, the best friend, but
right.
They go to show me. Oh, Bill, I'm gonna whoop Robert tonight. I'm gonna whoop him on stage.
Little Robert?
Yeah, Bill Carlisle's
gonna whoop Little Robert.
Yeah, I'm gonna whoop him tonight. And they were standing at the.
They'll sell tickets to that one.
He said they're standing out the front door. He said,
did they?
That's what
he said, come on, he said, just follow me in there. I'm gonna whoop him right now. And they take my 10 a minute and they go back and get 10 more and get in there. We're running overtime, ain't we?
Yep.
Let's get out of here.
We're gone.
If you got any last minute saying,
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Always good to be here at home.
We got a big car show that's coming up. It's going to be in May. I'll tell you that a little later. It's going to be a big one over town. We done it last time. I retired. I forgot from some people. I just thank you, sugar, and I got to go back and do it.
Okay. Well,
you'll be up here.
I read the paper this morning that Huntley's going to be in Union County.
He's going to be in Union County. He's also going to be inducted to the North American Country Music Association Hall of Fame.
He's raising money for a good cause up there. And, if you have Huntley or you have heard him, I think it's the 21st of March. I read. And if I'm in, I'll try to go through it. But if not, I hope some people listen, because he's one of the better voices.
Absolutely.
And as well.
Yeah, he played up there.
Well, I'll put a shout out.
Every New Year's Eve.
Yeah, he used to play up
here. Sound good.
But there's my little saying there, Ron.
People out there, the whole show is fun. Folks over at the courthouse, a lot of this is this show. They love this show. Space Parrot was one of the best games.
They are, aren't they?
I always said there are two groups. I don't care if you just got two of them or a whole band. Go sit and listen to is Red Jeffers. Put on the show. If you just sit up, I sit and watch.
Me and Vic love being. We love singing, playing.
Even if you got your 4-piece, you do it.
Yeah, but I you know what? I really do like the Russ and Becky because we do a different,
it's good.
Different kind of music.
Yeah, you get to do that big band.
Yep.
Go top, the old 50s rock.
Yes, sir. Some old Everly brothers.
Becky's smart. She was the audience.
Well, I knew she was smart when she chose me.
Tell her what to do.
Yeah, I knew she was a brilliant woman. Whoa, Lord. National Honor Society.
And we don't. Tony Thomas, he's real sick.
Oh, he's had about.
Yeah, we need to keep her right.
Oh, by the way, my brother Bill, he was discharged from WIBK where he went in the Army. He's over in the hospital this morning, and he's having surgery. He's having some serious problems. And he's in there, I'd say, as we're talking. He's going through this. I appreciate the prayers sent up for Bill this because he's going through a rough time.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Bird, sign off. Mr. Walker always said, you be good to the Lord and he'll be good to you.
There we go. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask Your Neighbor. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.